On today's SheerLuxe podcast, we're in a slightly different location to normal. We are on the Boden bus and we are here to chat all things festive season. From the Christmas songs that we love.
Top 4.
It's beginning to look
Great one.
Christmas.
Is that the Michael Bublé one? Or?
I like the Bublé version. To the Christmas films that we absolutely do not agree on.
I don't think there's been a single podcast leading up to Christmas that we haven't
This is
discussed.
year 8 of having the same conversation.
Like,
through to, of course, everything we're going to be wearing for the festive season. So do stay tuned. It's a goodie. Welcome to today's SheerLuxe podcast. There's a bit of a difference today. If you are
Spot the difference.
If you are listening, we are recording today's podcast in partnership with Boden on their very special festive bus. Head to YouTube if you can. So on today's podcast, I'm joined by Lou Huff and Polly Sayer on the Boden Christmas bus. We are making quite a splash in and around Clapham so far this morning.
Yes, we are.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, if you weren't already in the festive spirit, a combination of the Christmas bus, the Christmas jumpers, I think might get us there.
Yeah, I definitely feel quite festive. I did a
Do you?
wreath making class last week, which was like early doors,
I've
but
always
got me
wanted
into
to
it.
do one of those.
It's really fun, actually. It's a nice thing to do, like with your friends, maybe with your mum.
Nice.
And I was quite proud of my creation, actually.
Well done.
What did you put on yours?
I mean, just some like foliage, the usual, and like a nice little
How
ribbon.
much can they really vary? You all kind of given the same ingredients?
Yeah, but they can, if, you know, some people made very irregular ones. Some of them
Okay.
were like big, some of them were small. I found mine was quite even. So maybe it's
I
deep
thought mine was rather perfect.
deep and
Okay.
crisp and even.
We've done it on the show before, and I've done it for like a press thing before, and they just give you loads of different like types of foliage.
Okay.
Or like
do you sort
bright
of
orange.
wrap it round?
You kind
If
of,
I get
No.
quite into it.
No, it's with like chicken wire,
Okay.
and you thread it through.
Okay.
and it is a bit like messy. I was wearing like a nice knitted dress and just got covered in like bits
Moss.
of foliage, and it didn't really like. I need to like defluff it afterwards, but it was fun.
This
I
conversation
love
got really niche, really quickly.
Really
Have you
quickly.
put it up yet? Though that's the key question.
I put it up in my house. I'm just waiting for my partner to put it up on
I thought
the
you were going to say
front
to
door.
approve for the front door.
I was like, you better approve it, mate. You're not going to
Have you got a ribbon?
Yeah, I got a little bit of ribbon,
Nice.
quite cute. So I'm just waiting for him to put like a nail in the front door because clearly I'm incapable of just knocking that in myself. But yeah, I will be putting it there.
And will you put it, because it's mid-November, would you put it up now?
Oh yeah, no, I used to be that person that was like, no, Christmas doesn't start until the 1st of December, but it gets earlier and earlier each year, and I just think, well, why not? Bit of joy. We all need a bit of joy in our lives.
I think this is it. Yeah. What about you? You're a bit of a Christmas
No,
purist.
I am in that.
You're
that
screwed.
camp, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. Yeah, it's 1st of December. It's time. Like, I will happily like engage in Christmas activities out and about. I feel like
Like
you see it
this.
enough, exactly like this, and my festive jumper. But I wouldn't in the house yet.
Okay.
But don't
Yeah.
you do your tree on like the 20th of December or something?
No,
Scrooge
I
you
would,
like that?
as soon as like normally the first weekend of December, we'll go to Pines and Needles and we'll pick out our Christmas tree.
Is every single tree destination across the land called Pines and Needles?
I
'Cause
would-
that's
I
what
would-
mine is. And
I
don't
would
think
expect
it's
so.
mine. Yeah.
I think
Hang
we
on, I
are.
thought you were a faker.
No, we are, but
Okay.
but there is a Pines and Needles.
Oh, okay,
nearby.
fine,
Yeah,
fine.
honestly,
Right.
we bought a fake tree like a couple of years ago, and it was honestly just the best thing. Like, I know that some people are quite purist about it, but
No,
also it's
I
better
think-
for the
I
environment.
think
like,
we have got a potted Christmas tree.
In the garden.
We've kept it in our garden for a year
Oh,
with the view
what?
to it just growing with us.
oh
but
my god, that's so special.
yeah, it's quite sweet, isn't it? Although I was hoping it might have grown a bit more than it has in the last year because we were in.
It's like half an inch.
What if it starts wilting? Is that a
It doesn't
sign?
will. No, it's looking strong actually.
Nice.
But like this is, first world problem, but we were in a 1-bed flat last year, so we bought a small tree to fit that, and we are now in.
Is
a
now your
three-bedroom
house just too big for your
Unfortunately,
little tree?
my house is far too big for it. No,
I feel like
It's
the height of the ceilings
in
your new pad.
That's what I
actually-
mean.
Because
Yeah,
you've
you
got
need-
a double height
Yeah.
situation.
So I fear it might look a bit silly, but I just think it's sweet, and maybe we'll just keep nurturing it. And
I think that's really magical to
it is,
have
yeah.
bought
And
one in your
again,
first
like
year of
good
relationship.
for the environment.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first year of my relationship.
Yeah,
right,
and like
yeah.
What do you do with it kind of out of season? Just
Well,
sits in the garden?
It just sits in the front garden, and people are like, "Oh, is that a Christmas tree?" Do they? In the sun, I'm like, "Yes, it is."
I'm growing it for future.
Okay.
Do they live throughout the whole year?
Yeah,
Like,
I haven't
Christmas
really
trees don't die.
had to like do much to
Tend
it.
it.
I mean, like I might turn it around and it'd be rotten and horrible.
Savage
I think it's the corner Christmas tree.
Yeah, get out.
Maybe you need 2 this year.
Maybe
Quite
I can
extra,
have one
but-
like in the bedroom, one in the living room,
Yeah.
one in the spare room.
All right,
I mean-
name more rooms in your house.
Sorry. Then we can come in the pantry. One
in the present wrapping room.
One in the boot room, darling.
Love that for you. That's really nice.
When do you get your Christmas tree?
I think we have it sat upstairs. I think
Obviously.
I
when
think
do you get it out?
we'll erect, I think, in what date?
Sorry, we'll erect.
We'll erect our tree. Yeah, something like this, whatever that weekend of the like 26th-ish is.
Okay.
So not December, but
Like
Okay,
sort of a Thanksgiving.
a Thanksgiving
Yeah,
Christmas
nice.
moment. Exactly.
And do you do the same decorations every year?
we feel like we have this conversation every year, and you both like chide me for it, but I just do lights. I don't
Oh
have
yes,
decor.
yes.
Quite
yes.
chic.
I think it's quite chic.
Yeah.
But I feel like the reason that you did lights in the past was like we've just moved into the house, we haven't got into the decorations yet, and we need to.
Yeah, it's more just that to buy all the decorations I want would be like several hundreds of pounds. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like, when am I ever going to willingly go and do that?
But then that's why you gradually need to build it up.
I also just buy one bauble this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like one, but like I think it's a cute like tradition to every year get like a little new set.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my problem? I went to the Selfridges Christmas haul the other day, and there's like this part of me, quite a significant part of me, that just wants the tackiest,
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
I get
I
that.
want the Britney Spears bauble and the Taylor
Yeah.
Swift bauble and the like burger and the
Yeah.
martini glass, but like the better side.
You
of my
could
head is
do
like,
a Monica and have like two sides to your tree.
that's true, and flip it
Yeah.
depending on my mood.
Yeah.
Clever.
When we yours go up?
I think I might suggest getting it out in a couple of weeks' time, like bringing it inside. I'm a bit worried about the spider situation. Like a couple of people have said, "Oh, be careful when you bring it indoors. It's probably like got loads of spiders living in it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Can
that's
you
not."
just give it a shake
Yeah.
if it's small?
Yeah.
Check for eggs
Yeah.
and nests.
Oh my god,
Ugh,
don't.
eggs.
Ugh.
Ugh.
That's disgusting.
Do spiders lay eggs?
Yes.
That is so rank. Don't want to
Grim.
think about that ever
No.
again. Thank you.
What have you guys got planned festive-wise? Have you got anything booked? Anything that you're kind of excited to do over the coming weeks?
I'm so excited. We are going to the Christmas lights at Kew. It like sells out in September. So you have
Yeah,
to be really
it's crazy,
on it.
isn't it?
And my daughter is 2 this Christmas. So I feel like she's prime time.
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely buzzing for that.
What will you get her for Christmas?
Not sure. So her birthday's first. So I think we're gonna go scooter and helmet. Because every time we
Safety
say
first.
yeah,
Love it.
every time we say birthday, she says scooter, helmet.
Oh, she's got a list.
So she knows that they come hand in hand,
Okay.
which I'm pleased about. And then need to think about Christmas.
Okay.
So I guess this will be the first one really where she's like aware of what's
I
going
think
on.
when she understands it, yeah.
That's really
As if she's
exciting.
2.
I know, wild. Like we're
No.
doing a Christmas books at bedtime now, and she says Christmas tree presents.
Oh, she's got all the important
Yeah,
things
exactly.
back
So
to
She's
do.
got it down.
Yeah, knows.
P, what about you?
I might try and get a little carol service in. I always
Oh,
find
yes,
that quite.
we have the SheerLuxe.
Well, quite.
Christmas festive sing.
Yeah, yeah. I do like a festive sing-song. I also love a brass band.
Yeah.
Like something about it really gets me in the field.
I just
Yeah.
don't associate that with Christmas.
Well, no, but as in like them playing like Christmas songs in brass bands. Like
Yes.
sometimes you hear them in like Waterloo stations. Stations.
Yeah, and they're
So
always-
your big festive plan.
it's going to Waterloo
I
station.
hang out at Waterloo and
I
wait
get
for
very
bed.
emotional watching things like that. I
Me
always
too.
cry.
I
Is it one of
do.
those?
I'm like, oh, it gets me like choked
Live
up.
music's quite emotional.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like everyone like being together in merriment and like, all
Yes.
focusing on the same
It's
thing.
a real
It's very
togetherness of
sweet.
Christmas,
Yeah.
isn't there?
I feel like P, you are going to be quite the singer at our choir.
Oh,
oh well,
Those
you
who don't
know,
know, you do have some little musical.
that's true.
musical
I don't think I've
background.
ever
Yeah.
actually sing though.
Very rich from you though, Charlotte. You love a sing song.
I absolutely love singing, but with absolutely no talent to back it
yeah,
up
I don't have
whatsoever.
much talent to back up either. I just
You
kind
should-
of
You
enjoy
should
it.
bring your flute.
Yes,
really.
you should.
Bring my flute.
Yes.
Just, you know, accompany
I don't
everyone.
think we've had a
Yeah.
rendition for at least a year.
It's been a while. Yeah, there was a time in lockdown, wasn't there, where I used
You
to
had
do
some
like a
free
weekly.
time.
Yeah, I had some free time. I was taking requested, C'est la vie, all sorts really. So
No, but I'm pretty sure you only did say la vie. All sorts.
I think,
can't
yeah, that
remember
is
much
all I
more.
did. But, you know, Christmas is the time to dig out your songbook, isn't it? So,
I think you should
What's
learn
your
a festive.
ultimate Christmas song?
ooh, that is a really good
Do you know what?
question.
We've had extensive arguments in the office
Mm.
about what should be on the songbook for the sing-along.
Yeah.
A lot of people had really bad. I'm really strict on this in karaoke as well.
Okay.
Like when people choose songs that are not karaoke songs.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I remember.
Like, give me an example of what's not.
Okay, I remember so clearly being on a hen and some girls doing Cheerleader by Omi. Like, oh,
It's not
I
us.
think that, like, no.
No, that's
Okay,
just
yeah.
something that you sort of sing along to when it's on in the
Yes.
club.
You need
But
to
it's
do
not a
like
karaoke
Bohemian
song.
Rhapsody or
Oh,
like
God,
Mamma
that's
Mia.
tough.
Yeah, I
Or-
wouldn't do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Or like a ballad.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Aren't you like your favourite Christmas song? I'm sure you told me before. Is something like Nat King Cole or something, like one of those
That
old
sounds
school
chic.
ones.
I like loads of Christmas songs. I don't discriminate really. I
Yeah.
really like. 4 just came into my head. I like loads.
Go on then.
Okay,
Top 4.
It's beginning to look
Great one.
Is that the
I
Michael
immediately
Bublé one? Or
I like
Did you
Bublé
think
version.
of Home Alone with that one?
I'm not that familiar with Home Alone. You know?
What?
It's not like
I love
it's not
Home
like
Alone.
part of my Christmas repertoire.
I really like. There's moments where I just go to.
What,
Yeah.
of Home Alone?
Yeah, with as soon as the song, I'm just transported right there.
I've always
Which
found
bit?
it actually really quite a depressing premise.
I made my family disappear.
That's so sad.
It
That's
is quite
breaks
I
my
think
heart.
2 is better than 1.
Do you?
Yeah, she was my favourite.
I actually like 3, which I
Interesting.
know is
Ooh.
I quite like 3 as well,
Great.
but he's a different child,
Yeah.
isn't
Different
he? Yeah. So it's good.
What are your favourite Christmas songs?
I like Jingle Bell Rock.
Yeah, it's not big for me.
Yeah, I
From,
love that one. I like Driving
Mean
Home for
Girls.
Christmas.
Oh,
Love
yeah,
Driving.
that is a
But there are
classic.
again, there are tiers of songs, and like I wouldn't listen to Driving Home for Christmas until like mid-December.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Like,
like,
not now.
oh yeah, of course, yeah,
Okay.
because you have to be sort of ready to drive home for Christmas, and now
Correct.
you know we're near.
No, I've been driving in circles
Very
for a while.
long time.
What I don't like is it Slade? Slade.
Slade.
What?
I wish it could be
Which-
Christmas
oh,
every day.
really?
It's
I
just too
like that.
shouty. I don't like a shouty song.
You like it a bit more.
I
mellow.
don't like the like when people are in the pub and the songs on, they get really like Larry,
Like,
and, like,
rowdy
"Ah!"
songs.
like,
I
not
actually
like
really like that one, but the one like that I don't like is Fairy Tale of New York.
Oh, you
How
don't.
does that one
go?
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh,
yeah, don't like that one too, yeah.
Do you not?
Bells
Yes,
are ringing.
yes.
I
I
just
quite
know.
like that one.
Shouty.
I find it miserable and it's like drunk pubby vibes.
Yeah.
Mm.
You actually like the new
Awkward.
Elton John.
I because you like to be drunk in the pub.
That's a bit of me.
I love the Ed Sheeran Elton John
Yeah,
one.
that's
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
I love that
A
one.
modern
yeah.
classic.
A modern
Also, Cruz Beckham's Christmas song.
What?
Do you ever
Didn't
know-
he just cover Justin Bieber's? Did he write his own one?
It goes, I wish it could be Christmas
Yes.
with you. It's
Oh,
actually a
I
banger.
I didn't know he could sing.
The original list for the sing-along was written by Daisy, who had awful taste in music.
Oh, yeah,
And
that was
shocking.
mostly
Pop,
it was
wasn't
mostly Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande.
Oh,
like, these not
no,
sing-alongs.
then
Yeah.
no, I'm afraid not.
Santa, tell me, are you real? That's you can't sing along. To that.
And Ariana's also got a very good singing voice,
Yes.
so I think that's quite hard
No,
to sing
no,
along
ambitious.
to.
I also like the new Coldplay Christmas Lights.
Me
That's a real
too.
tearjerker as
I
well.
Yeah.
think that's a bit miserable.
I also like the Darkness's Christmas song. Do you know that one?
Oh, I feel like I wouldn't
Yes.
like that
I
one.
wouldn't like to sing it because it's very high, but it's
just
like
enjoy it.
I just love
That's
it.
expectation.
Try listening to it another time.
Okay.
I also love Krista Berg, A Spaceman Came Travelling.
Yeah,
You know that one?
yeah, I do.
Oh, I don't like that one.
But no, these are not my top tier ones.
No.
I like the sort of Dean Martin, Frank
Yeah,
Sinatra,
yeah,
yeah.
Twinkly
Okay.
Lights,
Yeah.
Snow,
The
New
classics.
York vibes.
Yeah.
It's a kind of like background noise, but you kind of feel in the festive spirit without being too like.
Well, I
English.
actually have 2 different Christmas playlists on Spotify. I have
Oh.
one which is like all of the ones that we've named, they're like classic ones, and then I have Chilled Christmas, which is like
Oh,
which
two
is like
Christmas
which is like
playlists.
background noise for dinner parties because you
with,
don't want
with no lyrics, or is it just
no,
like
there's a
a
mix.
tinkle?
It's a bit of like kind of Harry Connick Jr. and Michael Bublé
Okay.
and a bit of Nat King Cole and like
Mm.
those kind of like slightly
Nice.
more jazzy ones.
like Jamie Cullum.
Exactly, because you don't want Slade
No, no,
screaming
no,
out
no,
over a dinner
no.
party.
I love the idea of differentiating between
Yes.
those two genres
know,
of Christmas
time and
songs.
place.
Last year, I think we found a like jazz chilled album. One of the Home Alone. Oh God, I'm rustling Home Alone again. What is it called? When he goes to the tree and then he sees his mum.
yeah.
That
one, I don't know.
Fell in love with that one all over again.
Let's talk films.
Mm.
We'll clash. We'll clash as ever. We have a differing opinion on one particular Christmas film. But
What is
is
that?
Oh, The Family Stone.
Have you seen it?
I have. I do.
I don't think there's
I
been
think-
a single podcast leading up to Christmas that we haven't.
This is
discussed.
year
Like,
8
yeah.
of having the same
I'm like,
conversation.
wait, which
Charlotte
one?
Alexander's
That
gonna
one.
be like,
Yeah.
hello.
Can you please watch it properly and just actually once and for all
I
answer the
watched it
question?
a long time ago, and I remember just feeling a bit sad for Sarah Jessica Parker.
Totally
So they're just a bit mean to her. I know she's
So
a bit of a
mean.
knob, but like she shouldn't deserve that at Christmas.
I agree.
Does she?
And they're all just really miserable and
Yeah,
they
but
all
they
swap
do make
partners.
friends at the end.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah,
like
I
a horrible
suppose.
environment.
But
I want my
it makes me
Christmas
anxious.
film to give me like full
Good
cheer and
fuzzies.
warmth, and and that
Okay.
is just a bit
Mm.
drab and
Yeah.
depressing.
So what's your favourite Christmas film?
I obviously love Elf. I love The Holiday. But my modern favourite is I have 2. I really like the Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds musical.
I
Like
remember you
love
saying
it.
Which one's that?
It's I can't remember what it's,
It's called, like, not like Dashed. I can see
Yeah,
that.
something like that. It's on Apple.
Yeah.
It's a genuinely, if you like musicals, it's like a really musical soundtrack.
Okay.
Like, I really enjoyed the songs.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I also love Happiest Season, which is the Kristen
Yes.
Stewart one.
That's so good.
In which she goes back to meet her girlfriend's family for Christmas, and spoiler alert, her girlfriend isn't out to her family, so they have to pretend to be friends. And it's just really wonderful, and it's just like, it's also really good festive inspo.
Yeah, it's
like,
really good.
cozy. And
Dan Levy is her best friend.
Yeah.
And it's jokes.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
What about you?
I do love The Grinch, Jim Carrey one. We used to watch that every Christmas Eve, like with family, so the feels. And then, have you seen Klaus? That's a more modern
Never, but
one.
people really rave
Yes,
about it.
we tried to watch it and really couldn't get into
Again,
it.
like we're so polarizing on
Yeah.
Christmas Day.
Which makes me
Christmas
hope
is
that
good.
she'll be with me on the family.
Yeah, I think considering what your first comments were, I feel like probably me.
Yeah, do you know what? I really liked Klaus. I'm a bit like anything new that comes along at Christmas time. I'm like,
yeah, but it's
no,
gonna
Stick to the classics.
skeptical. But I watched it and I enjoyed it. There's also a lot of like room for the Polar Express, isn't there?
I've actually not seen
No,
that.
neither.
What?
Would you watch Love Actually yet, or would you save that?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Save
That's
that.
got to
That's
be December.
20th
Yeah.
of December vibe.
That is almost like wrapping presents on Christmas Eve.
yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
Can I tell you, Harry hadn't seen that until last year.
That rings a vague bell.
I was like,
That's mind
that
blowing.
is a bit weird.
Mm.
How have you gone through life and not seen Love Actually? And he was like, that it is actually really good. And I was like,
Sorry,
yeah.
Lou's boss had never heard of The Holiday.
No,
Never
that's
heard
weird.
of it.
I feel like Christmas
What
films are
rock are you
more of a
living under?
feminine thing. Perhaps this is a massive generalization than a male thing. Like a girl would,
maybe.
like I would sit and watch a Christmas film by myself. Like I don't know many men
Yeah.
who would do
I
that.
do them.
Not to have heard,
I
or not to have
know.
been inflicted.
I know.
by
Yeah.
somebody that
God,
you
Jude
like.
Law is really at his peak in that film, isn't he?
He's on the front cover of a magazine this week, and I was looking at it, being like,
What's
Not
that?
anymore.
it's not the holiday. Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Anyway.
tangent. Let's talk festive fashion because obviously that's why we're here. Resplendent.
What a
Good.
word.
I know.
Word
Pulled
of
that
the
out of
day.
nowhere in our Boden festive. I mean, Boden do festive fashion so well. We will come to them, but do you kind of start to sort of change? I mean, we've all got loads of evening events going on at the moment. Everybody's got Christmas parties and work lunches and things. Do you start to almost feel yourself drifting in a kind of festive direction?
Yeah, definitely. I think because
Yeah.
you want to be cozy. So I feel like a fun, festive knit, whether that's like a bit of lurex, a bit of sparkle.
I love yours.
I'm really feeling it too.
Yes,
I
yeah.
think just like a little splash of joy. Like it's quite
Yeah.
a joyful
It's
jumper.
very joyful.
And I think that is what you want. And
Yeah.
it's a good talking point. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you couldn't meet me and be like,
Ooh, love.
like let's
And
have
And
a
not
jumper.
and not
Yeah.
to mention the jumper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed. What about you? You starting to
Yeah, I
Change
definitely
it up?
think so. I think like the textures just slightly
Mm.
change, maybe to a bit more like velvet or
Mm.
maybe a bit more like, I know we talk about burgundy a lot at the moment,
Mm.
but I
Yeah.
feel like that is like a Christmas colour,
Yeah.
isn't it? Burgundies, reds, deep greens. Yeah, I'm kind of into it. On the flip side, I also like to be warm, but I sometimes like just like a plain jumper and then a more jazzy trouser.
yeah.
Or
That's
a
my, like-
sparkly sock is also a very
Yes.
good
Well,
one.
guys, I have to replace my sparkly socks because my dog ate them
I can't
3
believe
weeks
it.
ago. I talked about it on the podcast a few weeks ago, so I must buy some new Lurex ones.
They are a very inexpensive way of like adding a bit of joy
Totally agree.
to your
Totally
outfit.
agree. They're about £4, I think.
Yeah.
What have you got in your repertoire? I feel like we've all got some party pieces that we've come back to year after year. I know
Yeah.
I've still got some Lurex sparkly leggings that I bought for my first ever
Oh.
SheerLuxe Christmas party. What have you guys got that you come back to year after year?
So I have a black tails jacket, which I bought
Mm.
years and years and years ago. Cropped at the front, like a kind of tuxedo
Yeah.
shape at the front, and then got 2 long tails.
I've never seen you
at the
wear that.
back. It's in storage at home, but it's one of my best high street purchases
yeah.
I've ever made,
That's
and I
really
love it
cool.
so much.
You should bring that
Cute.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I remember I used to wear that with like a rock and roll t-shirt and then leathers, and I watched Nia with a bowler hat once.
Naturally.
Yeah.
That is giving like 90s angst.
Yeah.
for sure. What about you, Polly?
I have got a velvet suit in black, which I've had for a little while, and I just think it's quite nice to wear like either separately
Mm.
or, you know, together. I also just got one in burgundy because I just love
Nice.
a velvet
Yeah.
suit. And
I think there's never a reason not to invest or buy in one of those
Mm,
pieces
yeah.
because I feel like every year they're always useful to have, aren't they?
Yeah.
Whatever your style.
Boden have also typically always done really good velvet suits.
Mm.
Yes.
I feel like I've done a lot of like Christmas cycles with SheerLuxe, with Boden, and I feel like
Mm.
every year they've done some really good patterned ones over the
Yeah,
years as well.
and like tuxedo blazers as well.
Yeah.
I had an amazing black like sea jacket with like gorgeous satin lapels, which is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think a jazzy earring is like so
Yeah.
Christmas time, isn't
Classic.
it? Like a big bold, like something sparkly
Yeah.
or just something massive.
Yeah.
With like a simple jumper.
And the
Yeah.
really good one as well, when you are at the office all day and then you're going to meet
Yeah.
friends for drinks afterwards and you just want a little bit of sparkle.
That is actually my kind of go-to, particularly as you say for after work. Like I've got
Yeah.
a little sparkly handbag that's only from last year, but I know I will have it like
Yeah.
forever. 'cause
Oh,
it's the
yeah,
perfect little
sparkly
Christmassy
handbag.
one. Yeah, even just like some black leggings, an oversized black jumper,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the earrings, the bag, and some kitten heels. Like done.
Yeah.
And your
Easy.
shoes you're wearing now.
Oh my god, aren't these the most
Yeah.
festive fun shoes?
Yeah.
Are my shoes in the shot?
There they are.
They remind me of lockdown, Christmas 2020.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I bought them.
Were they a Bicester Village?
They
code?
were a Bicester
Yeah, I think I
Village
remember.
purchase.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know
they
your friends
were.
when you know each other's
Yeah,
purchases.
I love this guy. You've got the date, you've got the location. Yeah, they were a good festive purchase.
Yeah.
For sure. Having
Very
some,
cute.
I've also got some red velvet flats like this, like kind of
Yeah.
smoking slippers, which
Yeah.
again also
Yeah.
come in very handy with that kind of look.
Yeah.
We all feel the cold at this time of year. What's your advice? I know we just talked a bit about, you know, wearing jumpers to parties or whatever, but for layering up to kind of feel festive but not be too cold.
Bodies are really good. And those like really
Mm.
fine roll necks. Hodge smashes.
Yeah, she
That
does.
sort of look, because you can still, then it's like tight and thermal. A little bit sheer is
Yes.
also quite nice.
quite
and then
sexy.
you can put on an amazing blazer on it and it still feel like that's the item that you're working with, but still look really chic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Less practical, but like leggings under trousers. You know, if you really do feel the cold.
Or tights.
That's it. I've also been loving like a kitten heel shoe with a point, but like having a sock with it.
Yes.
Because like your feet do get really cold, but then you can make the sock part of the look. I
Yeah.
did that last night actually, a little do, and I was like,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's why the dog ate the sock.
Yeah.
Because I had worn them exactly like that and left them out.
I feel like socks are not having a moment, but like they're very much front and center now. Do you remember when
Yeah.
like you just had to wear a trainer sock or like a
Yeah.
clear sock?
Yeah.
Something that Gen Z is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
really like hate about millennials is that we like wear trainer socks, like ankle ones, rather than like tube socks.
I have to say, I haven't worn those for a long
No,
time.
I haven't
I
either.
can't stand.
No.
One of my real like fashion icks is seeing a trainer sock
Yeah, poking out
poking out of a trainer.
Yeah.
Totally defeats the point.
I know.
Totally agree.
Just get some good tube socks, like, or,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
a nice like ribbed
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of knitted sock.
I
you know?
actually bought some chocolate brown socks and they have been actually so useful. Again, just like a kind of nod to the trends.
Yeah.
Like even if you're just wearing like, you know, loafers and they're like an all black outfit,
Yeah.
then you've got a little bit
Yeah.
of like that
Little
trend
something.
look in there. Yeah.
I'm actually wearing some
Oh,
red
yeah.
socks today,
Chic.
which I don't know. I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah, twinning
Has
with your
it?
jumper.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've actually gone millennial and sockless, but I feel like these are not sock.
It's
shoes.
okay. I think sockless is fine, isn't it?
It's just
like
not-
the
it's
trainer
just not
sock
those-
is the
those bits,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but it's weird how trends change because I'm much more icked out by a ankle than I ever was before.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because we used to be so like cropped, straight leg jeans
Yeah.
with an ankle showing.
Yeah.
But now
But
I'm
they
like,
will
oh,
come
no.
back.
They
Yeah,
will. That's
they
the
will.
thing.
I was actually thinking as I was getting dressed this morning how much easier winter dressing was back when it was all about like skinny jeans, flat
Yes.
biker boots, and
Yeah.
a knit.
Yeah.
Like that was quite an easy uniform.
I still find boots and trousers hard.
Yeah,
Me
me too.
too.
Like I immediately think now, okay, I can't wear knee-high boots because you can only wear them with a skirt.
Oh, no. I've been wearing my knee-high boots a lot because trouser shapes are so wide. So
Yeah.
I've actually been wearing my lows under
Have
the
you?
trousers. Yeah,
Okay.
like
'Cause I
forward
guess
as ankle boots.
You don't feel like they kind of like I
Not
don't
if
know,
the
round.
well, so maybe they would for that, but
Yeah.
like,
But like
not if
this
you got
kind
one-
of shape
yeah,
and
that,
that
and
you
you
would
really
okay
wide.
with that, yeah.
But then I always feel like what's the point? Like, is an ankle boot just
Yeah, it's
gonna
more
do-
just I don't have ankle boots.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because you want like a point, really, don't you? And a bit of a heel with like a wide leg
Yeah.
trouser, which
Exactly.
is obviously a bit more like current
Yeah.
than a cropped shape or anything too tight.
Yeah, I just happen to have knee-high boots that have the right point and the right heel height that I
Yeah.
can walk around. Anyway, it works. for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, festive season is generally quite associated with sequins, but sequins are very bad for the environment. Boden have stopped using sequins. They haven't used them since 2021 on their clothing, so that's obviously good.
Yeah. Good for
What other textures? I'm obviously in Lurex today, which
Mm.
is a vibe. You mentioned velvet.
Yeah.
What else is fun at this time of year?
Beading.
and
Yeah.
diamante, like plums, emeralds, gold, silvers. Like I think think of your Christmas tree.
Well,
Take all the inspiration.
That was going to be my next question. That it's very tempting to just kind of gravitate towards black. You've got all these festive things that you have to go to, and it can be quite overwhelming. What's
Yeah.
your advice for incorporating color into your festive wardrobe? You've done it masterfully today.
Thank you. So have you.
Well,
Yeah, I like it as like a pop of colour. That's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? But either like, you know, with the neutrals, like I might just wear like a trench coat over this and black trousers. It just feels a bit more sort of pared back,
Mm.
or if you're going all out, I quite like a sort of head to toe look.
Mm.
You know, it's like either like one item, although I'm doing the sock thing.
I find it quite hard to pair colour with black. I think red works really well.
Mm.
Burgundy works well, but I don't know, it's sometimes actually you're better off just going for the whole thing. and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
go for a nice simpler.
And
I like to generally go for an accessory, whether that's like through footwear, through a bag, like a little. I like a little velvet bow in the hair
cute.
to add a little nod to something. as well.
Yeah.
Any
Nice.
thoughts yet on what you might wear for Christmas party, Christmas Day?
Ooh.
Got anything lined up?
Christmas Day, I actually controversially like don't really dress up. I
Mm.
just like to be quite comfortable,
Mm.
and my family aren't really like dressed up people. So they'd be like, "Why are you? Why are you dressed so fancy?" Christmas party. I think I might go a bit fancier.
Yeah.
It's like there's not many opportunities
No.
to like
Mm.
really dress up in the year, is there?
And people in our office do really
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
It's
I do.
really fun
It's
seeing
lovely.
everyone
I
come
know.
together. I feel like the best part is definitely being in the office before, and like a couple of days before,
Yeah.
everyone's talking about their outfits
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what makeup they're gonna do, and
Yeah.
like they're doing each other's hair. It's so nice.
It's
Yeah.
really sweet. It's really sweet.
Like, what do you think you're going to wear?
I don't know. I feel like there's quite a lot of events to get through before we
Yeah,
get to the
there are.
Christmas party. It's
There's
quite
a lot.
overwhelming. Yeah. We're going up to Edinburgh as well.
Fun.
We're speaking of festive wardrobes.
Yeah.
So that's the week before.
Mm.
And I feel like that's a different ilk of festive dressing. So we're
Mm.
hosting an event up there. So we will need some kind of like shimmer sparkly, but actually these kind of jumpers would be perfect
Yeah.
because like festive knits.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I want some tartan. I want some, like,
I
again,
really
we've
want
got
some
dinner the
tartan.
next night. Maybe a velvet suit is good. I feel like Boden's actually going to have really good options
Yeah.
for that.
I like an elasticated waist trouser on
Yeah.
Christmas Day because
Yes.
there's also a lot of like kneeling down under the Christmas tree,
Mm.
like
That's because you have a 2-year-old. I do not.
Yeah,
I do
no,
zero kneeling
yeah,
down on
running,
Christmas
running
Day.
after a
Yeah,
baby.
God.
So I'm up and down all over the place. So I want comfort first, but I want
Yeah.
to feel like chic. So yeah, I would say like a nice velvet trouser
Mm.
with a little elasticated waist and a flat. What are you looking
I
at?
don't know, I'm just still thinking about the new.
all the kneeling
I
he's
don't
going to do on
need to
Christmas.
know
Not on Christmas.
It's my Christmas too.
Hang on, will you guys spend Christmas together this year?
Yeah, we're actually hosting it at our house. Like,
Did you not
how
last year?
grown
Did you not have
up?
Christmas together last year?
No, like we spent time together beforehand, and then went our separate ways.
Oh.
But we are like hosting at our own house.
What?
That is so
With
grown
both
up.
families?
My parents will come on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and like have a big wider family gathering on Boxing Day as well. But yes, hosting Christmas
Yeah, so
feels
hosting-
very
that
grown
is
up.
really-
I've only ever like gone here, there, and everywhere, so I think I'm like quite buzzing to stay in one
Yes.
place.
Mm.
Do you feel pressure?
No, because like it's only my mum and dad coming
Yeah, it's
round,
quite chill.
and I feel like I've
Will they
cooked a
stay the night
roast.
before, or they just coming
Yeah,
on the
I
day?
think so.
Okay.
I mean, I need to firm up the plans, but yeah, I'm like, you know what? I can cook a roast for 4 people.
But if you do we do a turkey.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Anyone got any turkey tips?
I watched a really, really good tutorial
Oh,
of cooking
okay.
turkey yesterday on Notorious Foodie. Do you know who I mean?
Yes. yeah.
He did one yesterday, and I watched it and thought,
What was the
he
Takeaway.
whipped up this like amazing like butter herb thing, and then he
Oh my
stuffs the
God.
whole, you know how you can do it with a roast chicken, like you peel the skin off the top and you stuff
Put it
under
in,
there,
yeah.
in the skin, to make it, like,
Okay.
super crispy and
Oh.
super. Check out his recipe; it looked really
chicken skin is one of like life's greatest things, in my humble
Greatest
opinion.
pleasures. I'm sorry,
Sorry,
you're
Lou.
missing
Icking over here.
out.
It's probably my
Oh.
favorite bit of the roast. Like take it
Yeah.
out of the oven and just be like,
I was about to say I eat most of the skin before I
yeah,
even
me
sit
too.
down.
I know.
Oh.
That's the treat. If you get to cook it,
Yeah.
you can have the skin.
Thomas Straker does. He makes butters, like all different types of butters. He makes a chicken skin butter where he like whips it
Oh.
into butter. I must try that at some point. Yeah,
So
Delish,
good.
delish.
What will you do?
We'll be at my parents when I haven't quite graduated into hosting just yet.
Nice.
We'll
I
still be
feel
there.
like you would do a fantastic job of hosting.
Thank you. I feel like I could do a really good job, but my parent, like, it's such a sort of so on Boxing Day, my dad sits down and makes like feedback notes from Christmas. Like it'll be like, didn't need this much Stilton.
Oh
tea.
my
Like,
God.
like it's so like he whipped it
Wow.
out yesterday. We
Wait,
were
so
talking about
there's
it.
still learnings? Like
There are
they-
always
Something
learnings.
to take
Wow.
away.
Little
Okay.
tweaks, ways to
What's
perfect it.
what's the biggest takeaway from the
I can't
Collins
remember.
household?
I can't remember what came of
Too
last
much
year. Oh, it was,
Stilton.
no, I tell you what was really good. No, there's never no such
I was
thing as
gonna
too
say,
much
I was gonna
Stilton. No, that was a poor example.
That would be my
Flip
pick.
it.
A good one was that we went out for dinner on Christmas Eve, which was worked really well
Okay.
because
Nice.
we're all so small. It's just my parents, my brother, my husband, and I. And if you all sit in a house for too long for too many days, it
Yeah.
becomes quite claustrophobic. And also, if you want Christmas Day to feel a bit more special,
Yeah.
it's nice not to do the same thing on Christmas Eve that you're doing on Christmas Day. So we went just to a
Yeah.
local pub
So
last year,
nice.
which was really a nice plan. So that
Yeah.
was our biggest takeaway to do this year.
Our general always takeaway is the host often feels like they have to overcompensate and
Yeah.
things are always things. And you watch these programs
Yeah, so true.
and you see all these recipes and you're like, oh, that'll be fun. Oh,
It's a lot
that'll
of
be fun to
pressure.
try.
But you
And
don't
it's a
need
huge amount of
it.
pressure, but like like I think no one is given a plate of food and is like, it's really missing this.
Yeah.
So
And you end up feeling so
I mean, if there's
stuck.
no
Oh, you do.
potatoes.
You're like,
I mean, like, it depends what
do
you're,
with a bit
what you're
more.
getting rid of. Like, you can't get rid of like roast potatoes or I don't
No,
know.
not
there's
roast
such
potatoes,
pork.
obviously.
not.
But
Yeah.
I feel like there's,
What do you think?
sprouts with bacon.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Mm.
I
maple.
don't really like sprouts. How do you
That
feel
sounds
about?
unreal.
But I actually do find the pressure of Christmas Day. I much prefer Christmas Eve
Yeah.
to Christmas Day
Yeah,
because I
best day of
just
the
find the pressure on it. It's like almost like your birthday as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
But especially if you're in a big family as well, like everyone has to get on, everyone has a really nice
Yeah.
time. Like there's always pressure on the host. So I feel like just sometimes people need to just
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
I think that
mine and Ben's biggest takeaway last year was that Christmas Day is the end of Christmas, not the
Yes,
thing you're
yes,
building
yes,
up to.
yes.
So you have to like
Yes,
we
that's
kind of
such a good
we
point.
sometimes get this
Oh.
quite anticlimactic feeling on Christmas Day. I love
Yeah.
Christmas, but it's sort of after you've eaten, then it's a bit like okay, kind of
what's
over, but
next?
like that's okay because that is the
That's
the
the
end.
end of-
It's not
Yeah.
it's not the thing you're building up to. You have to
Yeah.
enjoy the process. You have to.
Yeah.
The Christmas fun is the weeks in December of
yeah, totally.
the tree and the music and
Yeah.
the films and the mince pies.
And the like going out and buying presents and like
Yeah.
finding something for someone, because often I think then on Christmas Day, like the kids open their presents and it's gone within like 5 seconds. You're like the time that went into that. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
if you think about the process
Yeah.
as that being the fun bit,
I
like that.
remember as a kid, and it all being about the presents and thinking like this is the best day ever,
Mhm.
and then like looking at my parents and then being like, we're not that bothered by presents and thinking, what the fuck is wrong
Yeah,
with you?
so
Yeah.
true.
But now I'm at this point in life where I'm like, I really don't need anything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There's
that has
nothing-
crept up on me, and I'm like,
I so
actually,
agree.
the fun of it is like just like eating and
Yeah.
having some
Totally.
like peace and
My
quiet.
mum said to me, like, what do you want for, not like specifically from her, but like, what are you hoping for Christmas? I was like, I want the front of my house painted. And I really want,
Yeah.
and I really want the front
All these,
door
like,
painted.
really
I really want to
unsexy
plant the
things.
planter. Like, I don't want anything
Yeah.
material.
I
really.
have said to my family, no presents. This
Really?
year. My family don't all live in the UK, so spending time with them is actually like that is
That's
really
the
what I really
gift.
want. And yeah, seeing my daughter, like obviously get her all the
Yeah.
presents.
That must be really
That's
Yeah.
I'm so excited
It's
for that
gonna be
this
good
year.
this year.
And she's got the cutest outfit.
I was about to
wear.
say, have you got her Christmas Day look?
So cute. We're going full like tartan frills, Peter Pan. I like to
Great.
go old school. My
Mm.
favorite Christmas film is Miracle on 34th Street,
Yeah.
and
Oh, that is good film.
Yeah, that look.
yeah,
Matilda's
her look,
outfit.
yeah,
Yeah.
is spot
Oh
on.
my
And just
gosh,
a little
she's
bow
gonna
for
look so
hair,
sweet.
perfect. So yeah, no presents for me. But what I do think is a fun thing to take to entertaining or think of is fun Christmas games.
Oh, you like a game?
Mm.
I love a game, a good board game.
Yeah.
I think like minimal TV and phones, I think on Christmas
Yes.
Day. So I do think
Yeah.
bringing the families together, and sometimes like you spend a lot of time together,
Mm.
chats born
Yes,
out.
Yeah.
Have you got any
Right.
recommendations?
So we have a really good game called Scrawl, which is basically like Pictionary. So you think of something so random, for example, a penguin on a skateboard.
Sure.
And you draw that thing,
Yeah.
and then you fold it down, and then you pass it to the person next to you. So every other person draws, and you pass it on. And then you would then look at the picture, and you write what you think it is.
Okay.
And then you fold it down, you pass it on, and then you draw what is written.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So
clever.
it's kind of like two games mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
That sounds really fun.
It's really
I
good.
like that.
That actually
I
does
like
sound
that.
quite fun. Do you find when people explain new games to you, I am like, I can't be bothered with this. But then when I actually get into it, I'm like, oh, this is a really fun
Yeah.
game. But it's
Yeah,
just being explained the rules.
it's
I'm
the
just like,
organised fun element.
switch
I think
off.
everyone's quite like, no, we have our games in our family.
Yeah.
This is how we
Yeah.
play them.
Also, if you have like a game like Uno and people have different rules for Uno, like
Yeah.
they play it differently, I'm like, oh no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm actually quite glad in a way that like our two families are not coming together for the first time because they might have different rules for Uno.
Yeah.
And,
then
that could be
what
chaos.
would you do?
I mean,
What would you do?
know?
We like a bit of Monopoly Deal in my house.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
quite heavy.
Monopoly Deal.
Oh.
Not Monopoly.
I've never played
What's
Monopoly
Guys,
Deal.
Monopoly Deal is amazing.
Oh.
Is
It's
it
a
quicker
card-
than normal Monopoly?
Yeah, it's a card game.
Oh, great.
It's
yeah.
a card
Okay.
game, and it's like a bite-sized version of Monopoly. It's really
Okay.
fun.
I don't think
I
I've
highly
ever
recommend it.
finished a game of Monopoly in my life.
No one has.
No.
Nobody
No.
has ever finished.
If they ever
it.
say they have, they're lying.
Agreed. I think our time on the bus is drawing to a close. I could quite happily sit here all day.
Same, it's
actually.
been
Yeah.
so
I wonder if he wants
lovely.
to take me off to my next appointment. I'm just
Ooh,
riding the bus.
yeah.
I
that'd
think
be
it needs to take us off to get some
some
mince pies or
I
something.
agree. A proper festive shout out to Boden because they really do have such
The
great
best.
things at this time of year, don't they? I mean, knits obviously speak for themselves. What else have they got right now that's super good?
There's knits, there's suits, there's dresses, for every family member as well.
Yes,
it's
so
really
true.
good for gifting as well, for loved ones, for little ones, little stocking
mini
fillers.
Boden.
I've actually always had a little soft spot for baby Boden.
Me too.
And
Yes.
they also do the best little fairy.
They do, really cute.
Very sweet.
Kiddie outfits.
Really, they have a lot of cute little like tulle fairy skirts. at the moment. Very sweet. And really good stocking fillers. Like, you know, they've got great slippers and accessories and belts and things like that.
Yeah,
so
true.
you can never go wrong with a nice little festive beanie.
There you go, all your festive needs. Well, thanks so much, Boden, for having us on your bus. We're quite sad to give it back now. Thank you both as well. And thank you for listening. If you have any feedback, please do email podcast@SheerLuxe.com. Please do subscribe. It really does help us out. And we'll see you next time. Bye.